I'm not one for conspiracies. So when Robert brought this to my attention, I'll admit, it had my curiosity. As I read further into it, it had my interest. My name is Justin, and I welcome you back to another episode of the Babble Report. In April, something very interesting happened. An article was posted on the PSN. This article introduced a game called Abandon, a survival horror game about a man who evades a cult in a woodland area. It had a trailer released along with it, and it wasn't the best quality. However, that didn't stop the game from blowing up. A lot of people picked the trailer apart. And the overall theory, and the theory that Robert believes, is that Abandon is actually Silent Hill in disguise. Now, probably wondering, that is a very odd thing to point out. I thought so too, until I started doing my own research. And it turns out that this theory might actually have some merit. Now, Silent Hill was a very popular horror game right next to Resident Evil. And while Resident Evil is doing very well with Resident Evil Village, Lady Dimitrescu, or Big Vampire Mommy, as most people call her, Netflix series, a new animated series, you get the idea. Silent Hill hasn't been that productive, other than pachinko machines, you whatever you want to call cameos that it has in Dead by Daylight, I guess guest appearances, and oddly enough, skateboards. Yeah, skateboards. Not the weirdest thing. However, Silent Hill hasn't been that productive game wise since 2014's PT demo for Silent Hills that was unfortunately cancelled due to a falling out that Konami had with Hideo Kojima. Hideo Kojima decided to start his own company and brought you Death Stranding, a game that I still have no idea what it's about. But with all these working theories, a lot of people have speculated that this might actually be a new Silent Hill. Now, if you're like me, I would have just been thinking, okay, it's just a horror game that was supposed to look like Silent Hill. Until a situation happened on June 15th by a very, very mysterious studio called Blue Box Studio teased the real name of their game. All they said was the game starts with an S and begins with an L. And you know how people are with their conspiracies, they'll take that little bit of information and run. So many people speculated that it was Silent Hills. Blue Box Studios shot that rumor down as quick as they could. However, after a certain live stream, a bunch of clues started popping up, one of which was the lead developer's name, Hasan Kahraman's. Now, some people, and again, thank you to the people who actually did the research ahead of time, Robert included, put the name through Google Translate, which translated into I'm waiting, Hideo. Now, I don't trust Google Translate because it's not the best source of translations, but I mean, what are you going to do? Now, this was a bit of the nail in the coffin that got me on board with the conspiracy theory. Because as it so happens, Hideo isn't a stranger to using pseudonyms. He has done this before. He has created a fake studio called Moby Dick under the pseudonym Joachim Morgreen, which was to tease Metal Gear Solid 5. Also, I probably butchered that, so, cut me some slack. But of course, as all great conspiracy theories, there is a little more to Hasan. People did some more digging and found his PlayStation Network account and a YouTube account with the username Sneaky Warrior, which many people believe to be a reference to Metal Gear Solid. Now, Hasan has denied any affiliation with these accounts, but upon further investigation, there was a very bizarre title video called 2727. People linked this to the cancellation date to Silent Hills, which was April 27th, 2014. And as of this recording, and as far as I checked, the account has been wiped of any of its content. So, it's kind of suspicious. So, to throw everyone for a loop, Blue Box Studios decided to make a Twitter post of a list of specifications and features that the game would have. They also said that the game will be teased and properly revealed via their own PlayStation 5 app. With such a bizarre marketing strategy, a lot of people have made comparisons to the way PT was marketed before it was canceled. So it was only natural that people would look into Blue Box Studios, and it turns out that they haven't released a game. Now, there were some projects, or I guess horror projects, that were found that had contained Silent Hill references, but they were either canceled or what was called retooled. I'm not entirely sure what that means. And they did have a Kickstarter called Rewind, which people have speculated was a predecessor to the abandoned game, and it was set in a place called High Hills Village. The Kickstarter didn't do so well, so it was eventually dropped. And so was the other game called The Haunting Bloodwater Curse, which was dropped by Blue Box Studios apparently, and they just kind of just gave up on that, which was also very suspicious, or as some of the kids would say, very sus. Yeah, I'm getting old. But Blue Box Studios aren't the only people up to some shady business. Kojima Productions recently hired somebody who was experienced in ARGs. So, around the rumor mill, that might be what Abandon is. And a recent trailer of Death Stranding, the director's cut, which I don't see why there should be one. That game is very confusing as it is. Uh, it contained I guess, an imaginary box, something dealing with Metal Gear. I'm not so familiar with it, and Robert rushed these notes, so hey, let's just keep going. A lot of people have speculated that this may be a hint at Konami Kojima mending the relationships, which would be a very good thing to see. I mean, they did do a lot of good games. Now, an interview was done with Hasan, but from what I've read and from what I've seen, it was only done through email. That they never actually met Hasan, and that just raised more suspicion. And to add to even more suspicion, adding more fuel to the fire, Jeff Keighley comes out of nowhere and tweets that he'll be helping revealing the abandoned game, saying that he's working indirectly with Hasan and BB Studios, and that they'll send him pictures of the game and to make some reveals. And it's bizarre. I was just so glued to it that I didn't know what to believe. Like, it all sounds very plausible. Like, I actually believe that there might be something out there. And there was a quote saying that the game might not be what we think it is, and that it might be something completely different. And many people pointed out that Jeff has helped Kojima do like fake like reviews and stuff like that. So I'm just up in the air. Like, I'm pretty sure my eyes have gone cross-eyed from reading so much. But as surprise to no one, Jeff never receives those pictures, and many more things start happening. Weird things start happening in the Konami shop. The the app that was supposed to tease the game was delayed, and more questions were being asked. And a subreddit had a bunch of questions about to ask Hasan, and that he reassured them that they are real despite a very limited internet presence. Abandon vanishes from the PlayStation Network store. This whole entire mess has split the fan base into some kind of weird civil war thing where there's Team Real and Team Fake. An interview that was posted with Hasan that confirms that he is a real developer, yet the whole thing left them with more questions than answers, and that people are 100% sure that Hasan is actually Kojima. Voice actors who appeared in Silent Hill that tweeted out that the answers are out there. Like, what kind of X Files BS is that? I've been trying to follow along as best as I can, but I'll be honest with you guys, I'm not the smartest guy when it comes to this kind of thing, so I will leave it up to the big brain conspiracy theorists because there's so much to unpack here. Like, there's an interview with, I believe his name is Yamaoka, who was the composer for the Silent Hill games and the Contra series, saying that there was this big project that he was working on, and a bunch of tweets that I will put up right now from AI Hub. A statement: "We thank you for your support, which contributed to the spread of the interview that we published yesterday with Akira Yamaoka. Around the world, we were interested to remove the clip, and it has been removed. We apologize, and stay tuned for the next interviews." That's not even the only suspicious tweet. Um, there was one that I will put it up right now where someone pointed out that Blue Box Game Studios is just the PlayStation Studios logo. The colors inverted. A tweet from Kojima Productions, hashtag DSS Stories 27 Guerrilla Games, with who we collaborated on the Decima engine, is in Amsterdam, southwest of Amsterdam, is Leiden, and Netherlands' oldest university, the University of Leiden, where Johan Hunzinga was a professor. He coined the term Homo Ludens, man that plays, which is, again, very cryptic. I mean, to be honest, this whole entire thing is cryptic with its secret meanings and hidden messages and references, and it's a lot to take in. My personal theory is that Hassan is actually a clone of Kojima and is working on a Silent Hill spiritual successor that is just gonna be the end all be all. That's what I choose to believe. You guys can leave your own theories in the comments below. And if you're new to the channel and enjoy the episode, it would help the channel out a lot if you left a like and subscribe. We upload almost every day, trying to head out more content for you guys to enjoy. But with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. I hope everyone's having a good day, staying safe and healthy, and in a good mental place. And I will see you guys next mission. Goodbye.